This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
I'm not having trouble. Fucking shit. I'm sorry. Had to do some voiceovers earlier today, and I have to turn my microphone up louder. Hold on. Check. Having all kinds of issues tonight. Good evening. Welcome to the Troll Patrol live. It's a freaking Thursday. I'm not having issues with the stream. You're having issues with the stream. Good evening, Chainsaw Warlord. What is up, my friends? Chris, so glad to have you here. Know you watch every night now. You fucking idiot. You absolute pile of dog shit. That's what you are, Chris. I'm sorry, I take that back. Dog shit actually came out of something that is cuddly and lovable. And I know whatever cunt spawned you wasn't cuddly or lovable. Fuck you, Chris. Tones, Sky comment. Yes, thank you, Warlord. Whenever something happens with the stream, like YouTube starts another stream. So all the links that I posted earlier in the day for the event I set up don't work. So sorry about that. Good evening, everyone. Sky comment, so good to see you. Tones, did I say hey? Tones. Borg. If you guys want some roasting, apparently Tucker Carlson had some comments. DJ Dub. YouTube's back up. If you want to do the YouTube. Also, I found out today. So I was going back. I had to watch a clip for reasons. And when you guys comment on YouTube, it's instantaneous on YouTube. It just takes like 15 seconds to get on the screen and get over here. I found that weird. Oh, out walking the puppers. Anyway, we got news to cover. The right is jizzing themselves over the fact that Hunter Biden, Ray, good evening. Hunter Biden, indicted for packing. You know, he's got that gigantic schlong. Clinically, good evening, my friend. You banned the Restream bot on YouTube? Does that affect the show? It's still working. Restream bot is still working. Also, Warlord, that bot that I got for the announcements, really fucking complicated. I'm gonna have to sit down and fix it up over the weekend. I will do my best to get you an alert bot back up and running. Maynard is not impressed with all the bullshit that's been going on here tonight. Thank you, Maynard. I appreciate it. But I think that's a Kick thing. I don't think that's a YouTube thing. But I'll go and check out the banned list and I'll try to finagle all that shit over the weekend. Here is your meme of the day. I just can't stop picking at this scab. Bill Maher announcing that his show will return. Sans Riders will be crossing the picket line, but not doing his monologue or new rules or anything like that. It's just going to be a panel discussion. He thinks that somehow makes it better. I am too, DJ Dub. Choo-choo. Not a train. Well, I mean, I can run a train if you want me to, if you want to invite a few friends over. I'm down with it. I'm into that kind of thing.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Oh my god, the trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth dropped like 2 hours ago. Holy shit, I jizzed myself over that. Right-wingers are jizzing themselves over Hunter Biden being indicted and already making up excuses for why it's not enough. That's the wild thing. They are jizzing themselves. What did you all get to? Producer Dave taking the night off. If anybody was wanting to watch, what is tonight? Thursday? God, I haven't got to watch a Fire by Night in so long. Let me back on Twitch. I wanna hop in and watch a Fire by Night. Libertad, spittle pork roll. Spider pickle. I'm sorry, just completely off the rails tonight. I'm not high enough for this shit. Also, it's kind of hot in here. I thought it was a little chilly earlier. It's the same temperature I always have, and I'm kind of like sweating. This is not good. Maybe I'm just worked out. Oh, yeah. You know, well, the temperature's like really nice here. Apparently flooding down south. Georgia seeing some flash flooding. We actually have a story that's related to that. A video of firefighters speeding by stranded drivers happened live on TV in Atlanta. Also happening in Atlanta, a woman was found in the trunk of a car. She apparently had came to the United States to be part of some sort of religious cult. Oh, she dead, by the way. Her body was found in the trunk of the car. She wasn't found in the trunk of the car. Her deceased corpse was found in the trunk of the car. Got body cam out of Seattle that has been released. I think we referenced this story a night or two ago, but we now have the audio of these cops making jokes about a woman who had just died. Of course, the police association said they did nothing wrong. New body cam footage out of January 6th shows that there were rioters that were armed. Cops were apparently picking up casings and bullets inside the Capitol Rotunda. You know, disputing the fact that the right-wingers have claimed nobody was armed. Nobody was armed there. We know the Proud Boys or the Oath Keepers, I can't even remember which one, they had a plot to be able to bring in a weapons cache. We know that there were bombs planted, so they weren't armed. We're once again just lucky it was a coup attempted by the absolute dumbest fucks walking the planet. Speaking of the absolute dumbest fucks walking the planet, we're going to hear from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Her thoughts on Hunter Biden's indictment. Ron DeSantis went on Fox News to talk about how the Biden administration is a disaster. Ron DeSantis would know because his campaign has been a disaster. Knows exactly what a disaster is. Might as well start calling him Ron Disaster. The Biden disaster. I was actually, as I was going through Fox News' videos, Biden disaster is a common title for their videos. Biden disaster, Biden disaster, Biden disaster. I mean, sure, maybe you're trying to manifest it, I guess. Leave me alone, Mom. I want to be famous. Speaker Kevin McCarthy and Matt Gaetz apparently got into it over the funding bill for the government, lobbing F-bombs at each other. Let them fight. Let them fight. Kenneth Cheesebro and Kraken Powell will now have separate trials from Trump. And a good portion of the show tonight will be devoted to labor action, because guess what? It's the final countdown. We are less than 4 hours from the, looks like it's going to be a strike. Looks like the UAW is going to be striking. The leadership told the rank and file this morning, get prepared. It looks like it's on. All that and more tonight on the Troll Patrol Live. Oh, also, New puppy bus. I've got a new puppy bus. Battle Opossum, good evening. Welcome. Pumpkin Spice. Seriously, I have a hard time. With names. Justin got COVID confirmed. I don't think so. I have not been around another person in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. How could I have caught COVID? I don't think I have it. Plus, a common symptom of COVID is that you lose your sense of smell, but I can tell you, there must have been like a piece of garlic in the catcher under my burner on my stove, because this entire apartment smells like fucking garlic, and I don't know why. Fucking general workers strike. I would love that now's the time with the UAW going on strike, the continuing Writers Guild and SAG-AFTRA strike. Now would be a good time to just all save it, especially going into the holidays. Oh, you're never here at the start. I bullshit for like the first 20 minutes. I run down what we're going to talk about, and I tell personal stories. I bitch about shit that's happened to me. Get shit off my chest. But I promise to always be into the finding out what that news be doing by 20 minutes in. But since Battle Opossum is so upset about not getting that news, I am a staunch proponent of a general strike. I think it's just what this country needs. Just what this country needs, especially once again going into the holiday season. It'll be Christmas before you know it. Phone lines are open. 917-830-4359. Just in case I've got any, dumb fucks lurking out there. Mentioned flooding in Atlanta. Let's update you with flooding in Libya. The death toll could reach 20,000. 20,000.
Libyan officials are warning the death toll from flooding in Derna could hit 20,000. You heard that number right, 20,000 potentially. Entire city blocks were just swept away last weekend when heavy rain from a Mediterranean storm caused 2 dams to collapse. Libyan health officials tell the Associated Press at least 5,500 people are confirmed dead and 9,000 are still missing. Joining us now with the latest from Libya is Qasim Majoub. He's a civil engineer with the emergency management team.
5.5K already confirmed dead.
Right now, and we should note, you're not in Derna, but where you are, Al-Baida is another impacted city. So just update us. What's happening where you are?
Of course, the situation is very far than Derna, but we are very close to
Guy comment. Welcome to Kick.
Here in Bayda are not over than 150 people, but in Derna the number now are rising. We're about to reach 6,000 casualties, people that we found right now, and we still have the number of missing people is still at the level of 11,000 people. The good news that came up after 5 days from the disaster that we got the list of 500 people found alive under the destruction and in the sea after the disaster came up with the internet.
That video is heartbreaking.
Okay, and I do want to ask about what's happening in Derna. I know you're a civil engineer. That the city's mayor said the dam there.
It should just be right under the stream, like where it usually is on Twitch.
Tell us what kind of shape it was in, and why crucial infrastructure maintenance, in your view, hadn't taken place.
I think the real maintenance happened before 2008. 2008, that the situation would be good. But eventually, even if the dam was in a good shape, this kind of dams, this type of dams, is not suitable for this amount of water that came up to.
Well, I can't imagine that there has been much investment or even work done on infrastructure in that country since the coup in what? That was 2011, 2012? Hey, Smokey. Yes, baby. I love you. Daddy's got to do the news.
It. So I'm not blaming anyone, but blaming the maintenance, the lack of maintenance, or the government. But I'm only blaming the people the decision makers in Derna that didn't order anyone to evacuate their houses. Even me on Twitter, 3 or 4 days before the disaster, I wrote a tweet about evacuating a lot of places in Derna that would be much safer. In July, I was on a visit to the dam. The cracks and the failure showed by the naked eye. You didn't have even to measure it. So the situation were bad, but the officials didn't care a lot about the numbers and the expectation of high rainfall amounts. The problem is that the dam diet is not suitable. So in 2010, 2011, the Libyan government ordered to try to build a new one in the same older place of the one who already collapsed. But after 2011, most of the contracts being cancelled, and after that, most of the contracts categorized as financial corruption, unfortunately. Signed, paid, but nothing on the ground.
It's really eye-opening stuff, Kasim. You speak about having visited one of the damaged dams a few months ago, and you could see the cracks. So surely this was expected. There's corruption. There's also a fractured government. I'm wondering if you have faith in the leaders where this has taken place, that they have what it takes to help those in need, and if this is a real wake-up call for the entire country, that its infrastructure just isn't up to where it should be.
That is what we are aiming to. This should be a really heard, but a wake-up call should do the job to unite the country again. In Derna, that we see a lot of even military groups that were fighting in Tripoli in 2020. They're hand-to-hand.
PP girl.
A lot of
This is we're covering the Libyan flooding. This happened back on Saturday, over the weekend, and the death toll continues to climb. It looks like it could reach up to 20,000.
Working together at the same spot for the same goal, and of course for the infrastructure, a lot of locations in Libya need to take into place a lot of maintenance, a lot of procedures. But unfortunately, till now, the two governments are not, taking the technical side of every note of every.
I mean, it just destroyed that whole city
into a serious place. Unfortunately, I hope this will be a very benefit to our country. It's really hurts, and there is really hurt this thing that we should learn, that we should give the technical people the place and make their sounds heard.
Yeah, no, that's a great message. And just in our last few seconds, Kasim, are your family and loved ones safe and secure?
Alhamdulillah, yes, because I was working in Derna only 1 week ago before the disaster. I finished my contract there and come back to Al Bayda. So a lot of my neighbors, a lot of my friends.
Well, this happened, BB girl. This happened in Libya, and they have apparently a fractured government. I was not aware that they had any semblance of a government since the U.S.-backed coup against Gaddafi, but apparently they do have some sort of government. UN saying that most of the deaths could have been avoided. Most of the 20,000 expected deaths, 5.5K have been confirmed already. And the city it doesn't exist. That footage, just insane. There is no city there anymore. Let's go back to this aerial shot. It's always profit over people. That they said that there had been an investment into was supposed to be an investment into repairs on the dam, but corruption, work never started, money gone missing. Of course. Let's go from flooding in Libya to flooding in Atlanta. This is wild video from earlier today. A live shot on a television station saw firefighters speed by stranded drivers.
For help as well. Atlanta News First reporter Zach Summers is in downtown Atlanta. I see a lot of water behind you, Zach. What else are you seeing?
Well, there are actually two folks in a vehicle stranded on top of a vehicle as they wait for rescue crews to make it to this part of the city. We're at Peters at Northside, so think Morehouse, Spelman, the east side of those campuses. I've been able to talk with these folks who have been here for an hour now waiting for firefighters to arrive. We know they are busy, and as we speak right now here live on Atlanta News First, we see the fire truck arriving to come get these guys who have been here for an hour. They tell me that they were just headed to, the driver tells me he was taking his passenger to work. The car stalled out, and they've been here for an hour as they wait to finally be taken from here. But as we stay here, we see fire. It looks like the fire truck is leaving them. It appears that the fire truck is not stopping. So these two gentlemen will continue to wait to be pulled from their vehicle. Again, they've been here for an hour. We'll stay with them, bring you the latest. For now, live in Atlanta, Zach Summers, Atlanta News First.
Yeah, of course, a lot to follow there. And
Skin color too dark.
Of course, you want to know developments. What's happening with these individuals needing rescue there after being stranded? Now is really the time to download our free First Alert weather app. Just scan the QR code on your screen. It'll take you straight to the App Store.
Yeah, we're going to work on getting.
Smokey, Jesus, buddy. I've been really busy today, so he hasn't really got a lot of attention. I had a video conference with a client yesterday, I think it was. It was yesterday or day before yesterday. And we're like wrapping up, and Smokey jumps up in my lap. So like I always do on stream, I'm just like, here's Kat. And she flipped the fuck out. She's like, oh my God, I love kitties. She's like, is that how you win clients over, by showing them your kitties? I'm like, yes, I showed them my pussy. Everyone should love cats. And then, like, I even flipped it over, showed her socks over on the couch. So I feel pretty good about getting that gig. They apparently had like a really shitty video editor, and they're like, this isn't up to our standards. Can you do it for the same budget? And I looked at it like, yeah, sure. I'll help you out. Hey, this Audible here. I just saw this pop up.
For 28 years.
Why did the sriracha shortage happen? That's what I'm wanting to know, because is Simp in here? Simp, good evening. I did not see you snug in on me. I tried to buy sriracha from the store the other day, and I couldn't get it, and I bought some kind of like Kroger brand chili sauce. It's all right. It's not sriracha. It does the trick. My tacos were way better than they were before. But still. Fuzzy, good evening.
One of the most recognizable hot sauces in America used this ranch to source its pepper.
So good.
Greg Underwood supplied sriracha's primary ingredient and helped usher a simple family business into a multi-million-dollar international brand.
Our production increased. You know, there were several years, 2 or 3 years, when it was increasing by 40 or 50% a year.
I don't even know if I have a Trader Joe's around here, Tones.
We had 2,000 acres of house.
I got Publix.
And we delivered 100 million pounds. We were delivering.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sky Comic, because I fucking
trailer loads every day.
I don't like really hot things, but like a flavorful hotness is so fucking good, and that's what sriracha is. There's so much fucking chili flavor in it, and it's just the right amount of spice. And fuck that. If you're putting Texas Pete on something, ooh, fuck you. Like that shit isn't even a hot sauce. I don't even know what it is.
For 10 weeks.
Today, Huey Fung Foods, the most popular maker of sriracha, controls a 6.3% of the entire hot sauce market.
Sorry.
Third largest of any individual company in the U.S. In 2020, the company generated nearly one.
No, it's a chili sauce, clinically. It's a chili sauce. No, that's different than spicy ketchup.
$131 million in revenue. But the relationship between Underwood Ranches and Huey Fung Foods ended in 2017. And over the past few...
See, Spider Pickle, that's my thing. I like sweet and hot together. Yeah. I like sweet and hot together. So that's why I fucking love sriracha so much.
Years, the spicy sauce has been hard to come by. Prices have skyrocketed as third-party sellers are one of the few places the condiment can still be found. A 2-pack of 17-ounce bottles is going for as much as $70 on Amazon.
Wow!
Supply chain and weather-related issues could make it hard to find sriracha hot sauce this summer.
Now the company says they still don't know when their supply will bounce back.
I visited 6 different grocery stores in New York City and I called another 10. Hi, do you care?
I won't pay $70 for it. I'll just get the Kroger brand.
Oh no, it's been out of stock for like 2 months already.
Smokey, please.
Local inventories on Instacart, and Huey Fung sriracha sauce was nowhere to be found. The bottles right in front of me came from the refrigerators of members of the CNBC digital video team. Sriracha is made of 5 main ingredients: garlic, vinegar, salt, sugar, and red jalapeno chili peppers. And without those peppers, there's no sauce. The company declined CNBC's request for an interview, but for years, the sriracha maker has pointed to poor weather conditions affecting the quality of its peppers, and therefore creating a shortage.
We've got sriracha scalpers. We got sriracha red hot chili peppers. Was it the farm was in California, wasn't it? Please, Smokey! God damn it, dude! I swear. Will not fucking get in bed with me of a morning and lay back down and shit. When I'm over here working, I love this cat so much. He got catnip last night. They got nipped up. My God, did they get nipped up. And that was the funniest thing because they all do it differently. Smokey like snorts it. Maynard eats it. And Socks rolls around in it. Sad. Okay, well, come on. Come on back up. I'm sorry. You're Smokey, everybody. Cat weed indeed. No, they got some nip. I think that was the last of my nip too last night. I need to get them some more. I'll order groceries tomorrow. Lay down, buddy. God, dude. He was doing this to me earlier. I've been working pretty much nonstop this entire week, so that's why he's like, please pay attention to me. Socks is the most intelligent cat like I've quite possibly ever been around. He is insanely smart. Maynard is really intelligent, but he uses it to be deviant. Smokey's kind of derpy. I'll just be honest, but I love him. He's so sweet. Someone who is not sweet but certainly derpy is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene was asked her thoughts on the indictment of Hunter Biden earlier today. If you guys weren't aware, Hunter Biden indicted for packing that gigantic cock of his.
Be harder to get Hunter Biden's testimony now that he's been indicted.
I would hope not. I can't imagine that it should be hard. I don't know what he would, unless he has something to hide, and He claims he doesn't.
Are
And
you frustrated that there has not been a subpoena issued yet for Hunter Biden?
no, I'm not frustrated at all. I'm excited we have an impeachment inquiry, and I want this to take a long time. I really do. I see two goals in this. The first,
I believe they want it to go through the election cycle. Yeah, they want it to take a long time, probably like right up to November of next year.
goal is investigating Joe Biden's crimes and the crimes of his family. The second goal is to cast a wide net into every department and agency to find all the people that covered this up. And David Weiss may fall in that list himself because he charged him with federal gun charges today, but he didn't charge him with human sex trafficking. He didn't charge him with tax evasion. He didn't charge him with money laundering, and he didn't charge him with not registering as a foreign agent. And those, we have all the evidence of that, and he does too.
Representative, on the spending front, do you...
Wow. Just wow. Like, Ron DeSantis calling the Biden administration a disaster on Fox News. I believe this was this morning. Nope, it was last night. It was on Sean Hannity from last night. So, content warning. You gotta look at Sean Hannity. Ron DeSantis would know about disaster because that is the most apt adjective to describe his campaign. No, it'd be a noun, wouldn't it?
Crisis keeps getting worse. He knows just who to blame. New York City. Now, Department of Homeland Security sources apparently telling NBC News that New York's handling of illegal immigrants was not operationally sound.
His state is a disaster, yes.
Strategy for illegals. Joe is sending them. Now, this comes after New York City Mayor Eric Adams revealed that he's not spoken to Biden in months. This as Pennsylvania is now just recovering from a nearly 2-week manhunt for a deranged illegal immigrant killer who escaped from that prison. Every state now is a border state thanks to Joe Biden's failed border policies. All right, joining us now, live in studio, the governor of the very great and free state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, is here.
The great and free state. Highest inflation in the nation. Like, inflation is down to like around 3% now, and I still hear right-wingers like inflation, inflation, inflation. Inflation is higher in the state of Florida than it is nationally. So why aren't you bringing that up?
Well, I just want you to know when I came out, I did not get a standing ovation, and it's my show. I don't know.
There's really only a smattering of applause.
Joe Biden's implemented that is working because I just see nothing but exactly. I mean, dumb question, right?
So
leprosy
is such a disaster, and so what I've said is, day one as president, we're declaring it a national emergency. I'm sending the military down to the border. We're going to build the wall, stop the invasion, but I am going to treat the Mexican drug cartels as the foreign terrorist groups that they are. They're killing tens of thousands of our fellow citizens by bringing fentanyl into this country. We're using lethal force against the cartel.
Apparently, a new Reuters poll says that Americans overwhelmingly support half of Americans support sending U.S. forces into Mexico to fight drug cartels, which is not legal. You can't just invade another country.
If they're bringing fentanyl in, breaking into our country, we're going to leave them stone cold dead at the border. Trust me, they will get the message.
What?
How do you assess the state?
And that's the bottom line.
As of right now. And what do you want people to know about you that maybe they don't know?
Well, the reason I'm in New York is because I got invited to be at the 9/11 ceremony, remembrance ceremony with some of the 9/11 family. So my wife and I got to go, and
we did a fantastic story, about 2 weeks ago. Mexico actually erected part of the Berlin Wall on the border as a monument, as an art installation.
Looking at the names and they're telling stories.
I mean, I guess you can just invade another country. We have done it.
Or something like that. And I was far away from it. I didn't have anyone I knew, but it was a huge impact on me. I ended up joining the military as a result of that. And I was put
You ended up torturing innocent people.
But I decided, our country's in conflict. We don't have a draft, but I'm going to step up and do whatever part I can. And so that kind of put me on the road to service. And so throughout my career, I've always put service above self. I mean, I think I am the leader. I am the vehicle.
Wow, that's cool, Sky Comet.
It's not about me. It's about delivering for the people that I represent. And in this case, turning this country around, because this country, and you and I have talked about it, it's in decline.
By what metric?
It's scary.
We're in jeopardy of being the first generation of Americans who are going to turn over to our kids and grandkids an America less prosperous and less free than what.
That already happened, Ron. The baby boomers already did that to the millennials. That already happened. Millennials work harder for far less money than our baby boomer counterparts. Millennials have a lower life expectancy than our baby boomer counterparts. You guys did that. That's been the result of the Reaganomics, of the conservative policies. It already happened, Ron. That's the thing that I fucking can't stand, is these assholes are like, well, we need more conservative policy. Motherfucker, what do you think has wrecked this goddamn country? You want to make America great again? Let's go back to the tax rates of the 50s and 60s. Let's tax billionaires out of fucking existence. Let's rebuild our social safety net. Rebuild our roads, our schools, our infrastructure. But that's the opposite of what you guys are proposing. The only thing right-wingers are proposing is book bans, more tax cuts. Go fuck yourself, dude.
We inherited. And that would be a tragedy if we allowed that to happen. So we got to reverse the decline. We need to get America on a different path. And
you're right, Simp. The privileged who want to be scared. It is like they want to remain stupid too. I constantly am having these arguments with these idiotic right-wingers online, just like Chris. Fucking one of these idiots told me that Biden wrecked the stock market. Dude, it has hit a record high multiple times under the Biden administration. It currently sits higher now than what it was during the Trump administration. Here's the S&P 500. My camera's kind of covering it up, obscuring it there. This is all Biden here. This is all Biden. Now, we can't get into it like the stock market. It's not actually the economy. It's not reflective of anything but like fucking investment, blah, 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 blah. But he specifically said Biden wrecked the stock market. No, he fucking didn't, you idiot. And I showed him this, and he's still like, oh, wreck my investments. No, he fucking didn't. Just like Chris last night told me that the COVID death count is inflated by vehicle deaths being counted as COVID. I showed him John Hopkins saying, no, that's not true. There was one news story in Florida of a motorcycle crash that was falsely counted as COVID. One! And right-wing propaganda ran with it. I showed him John Hopkins, and he's like, that's been discredited. You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. My God. Right-wingers are morons. What are your stock picks, Warlord? What do you own stock in? Podcast 1, I wouldn't own stock in that. It keeps falling. So there was a huge fight between the weed, of course. I'm sure weed is up right now. Matt Gaetz responding to Kevin McCarthy Apparently both of them employing some coarse language in the process, so maybe I need to hit the content warning so we don't offend anybody's sensitive ears. That's another, I get right-wingers constantly talking about, like, well, you said a dirty word. And I'm like, do you need a safe space, Snowflake, you fucking moron? Your appeal to decorum is stupid.
Up first, he's not going to take it, and he's not afraid. This morning,
Thanks, Obama.
Kevin McCarthy's
Chainsaw, good evening.
Expletive-laced message behind closed doors to Republicans. The gist? Republicans need to start passing bills. Republicans are not leaving until they fund the government. And if conservatives want someone else in his job, then effing do it.
So we are on the countdown to the UAW striking at midnight tonight, but we're also on the countdown to a possible government shutdown in just over 2 weeks.
In front of reporters, his words were more polite, but the message was the same.
Threats don't matter, and sometimes people do those things because of personal things, and that's all fine. I don't walk away from a battle. I knew changing Washington would not be easy. I knew people would fight or try to hold leverage for other things. I'm going to continue to focus on what's the right thing to do for the American people. And you know what? If it takes a fight, I'll have a fight.
Let's go straight to Capitol Hill with Manu Raju there. Manu, such a change in tone and approach by the speaker, really in the last...
Bring me a bacon cheeseburger.
What happened?
Yeah, this is a large part because of the challenges that McCarthy now faces to avoid a government shutdown by the end of this month. Remember that they have to get a bill passed by September 30th in order to do just that. But there are sharp divisions within his conference about how to move forward. And there are threats on the far right from Congressman Matt Gaetz in particular, that if he does move forward with that short-term bill, that would be enough to force a vote to seek his ouster as Speaker of the House, something that could happen if 5 Republicans vote to oust him and all Democrats do as well. Kevin McCarthy said he was having none of it. He said that we need to avoid a government shutdown. It would be bad for them politically. Everyone would lose. He said if there is a shutdown, he warned that the House would stay in session until next week, and he dared Gaetz and others.
Yum ribs, Ray.
Quote, move the effing motion, referring to that effort to try to potentially remove him. In response, Gaetz had his own words back to the speaker. He said, how about this? How about just move the effing spending bills? That was a response.
No crap, goddamn.
Individually, but the problem is they simply don't.
You guys are making me hungry. These pretzels are making me thirsty. God damn it. Venus, good evening.
Have the votes. Kevin McCarthy backed away from a deal that he cut with the White House to set overall spending levels because of the pressure from the far right. Some of those members want even
a wet burrito.
So the question is, will he be able to thread the needle, get his members in line, get this through, and avoid this vote to oust him as Speaker? That could occur sometime this month. Yeah.
Manu, we also learned a good deal about how McCarthy...
All you talking about food.
...conduct his impeachment. Is someone coming? Go ahead.
Yeah, the Speaker is
Go
right.
ahead.
Mr. Speaker, do you have the votes to defeat Matt Gaetz's... Do you have votes to defeat Matt Gaetz's motion?
Purgatorus.
So he was not stopping there, Dana. He is moving and talking.
Can't stop, won't stop.
We do have reporters who are talking to him now. We'll report back what he has to say. But that is one of the questions that I had initially this morning. He has not answered directly whether he would actually defeat Matt Gaetz's effort to try to oust him from the speakership. It's unclear at the moment simply because a lot of those members on the far right are keeping their cards a bit close to their vest here. But Dana, that is one of the major issues that he has to face here this month.
Okay, Manu.
Ooh, are you making fresh green beans with some fat back and some onions? Good shit. Why you guys gonna do this to me? I'm so hungry. And now we gotta talk about Cheese Bro. All the food references, and now we gotta talk about Cheese Bro. Kenneth Cheese Bro, and the Kraken. I guess Kraken goes with Cheese Bro. Sidney Powell, Kenneth Cheese Bro will not be tried alongside Trump in Atlanta.
New developments in Georgia's election interference case. Defendants Sidney Powell and Kenneth Chesborough will be tried separately from former President Trump and the other co-defendants. The judge's ruling was announced just hours before their attorneys appeared in court for a motions hearing today. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes is live at the courthouse with the day's developments. Deidre?
Yeah, in court this morning, Chesborough and Powell's attorneys asked the judge to allow them to interview grand jurors in the case. And they also want access to transcripts of witness testimony. The prosecution asking the judge to deny those motions today.
We recognize the challenges.
Attorneys for defendants Kenneth Chesborough and Sidney Powell spoke to reporters outside the Fulton County Courthouse after Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee ruled they will be tried separately from former President Donald Trump and other co-defendants in the case because of their request for a speedy trial.
Our client is entitled to a speedy trial. Our client's going to get a speedy trial, and we're not going to be the ones to try to delay that.
Chesborough and Powell are now scheduled to go to trial next month. The announcement came just
This is interesting.
Motion hearing. During the hearing, the prosecution turned over a list of unindicted co-conspirators the defense had requested, but opposed a motion to allow Chesborough and Powell's at-torney to speak with grand jurors and a motion to unseal special grand jury transcripts.
The bottom line, politics aside, partisanship aside, this is a criminal case. The prosecution's trying to send my client to prison. So the idea that I might...
Because your client committed a crime.
...information that the state of Georgia has should not be very controversial.
Despite the state's objection, Judge McAfee indicated he was open to allowing defense attorneys to conduct voluntary interviews with members of the grand jury, but he wants them to submit a list of questions before ruling on the matter. The defense argued that they should have the right to review grand jury transcripts as they build their case. The judge did not rule on that.
That seems very unusual to get to question the grand jury. Now, the transcripts, that seems perfectly normal. Weird.
That motion, but told prosecutors to turn over transcripts for witnesses they plan to call. Now, Judge McAfee did say in court this morning that he does hope to have a jury selected and sworn in by November 5th. At the Fulton County Courthouse, Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
All right, we'll continue to watch what happens. Thanks so much, Deidre.
Yeah, Deidre, thank you. Great job. Wow. Old Trumpy boy. He released a statement today where he's apparently upset at commies. Dude facing 91 criminal charges, but he took time out of his busy day to bitch about commies in schools.
The United States spends more money on education than any other country in the world, and yet we get the worst outcomes. We're at the bottom of every list. In total, American society pours more than $1 trillion a year into public education systems. But instead of being at the top of the list, we are literally right smack, guess what? At the bottom. Right?
I don't think we're at the bottom. We're definitely not anywhere near the top. But I also don't think that we spend more money than like China.
Rather than indoctrinating young people with inappropriate racial, sexual, and political material, which is what we're doing now, our schools must be totally refocused to prepare our children to succeed in the world of work and in life and the world of keeping our country strong so they can grow up to be happy, prosperous, and independent citizens. We owe our children great schools that lead to great jobs and leads to an even greater country that we're living in right now. Right now, we're living in a failing nation because of Joe Biden and these people running it. They're Marxists, they're communists. What they're doing to our country is incredible, but we'll take care of that for our children. Come on, man. Here are 10 key ideas that will power our movement.
Whoa, this is like a YouTube top 10 list. I didn't even know that was coming. But first, be sure to like and subscribe.
We will respect the right of parents to control the education of their children. Second, we will empower parents and local school board to hire and reward great principals and teachers, and also to fire the poor ones, the one whose performance is unsatisfactory. They will be fired. Like on The Apprentice, you're fired. Third,
I feel like he's not anywhere near what he was in 2016.
Indoctrination, but on teaching the knowledge and skills needed to succeed. Reading, writing, math, science, arithmetic, and other truly useful subjects. Fourth, we will teach students to love their country, not to hate their country like they're taught right now. Fifth, we will support bringing back prayer to our schools. Sixth, we will achieve schools that are safe, secure, and drug-free, with immediate expulsion for any student who harms a teacher or another student. Seventh, we will give all parents the right to choose another school for their children if they want. It's called school choice. Eighth, we will ensure students
School choice is disgusting.
project-based learning experiences inside the classroom to help train them for meaningful work outside the classroom. Ninth, we will strive to give all students access to internships and work experiences that can set them on a path to their first job. They're going to be very, very successful. I want them to be more successful than Trump. Let them go out and be more successful. I will be the happiest person in the world. But
it doesn't take much to be more successful than Trump. Just gonna throw that out there.
We want our children to have a great life and be.
I've never been bankrupt, sir.
We will ensure that all schools provide excellent jobs and career counseling so that high school and college students can get a head start on jobs and careers.
UK.
To their God-given talents. This is how we will ensure a great education for every American child. And one other thing I'll be doing very early in the administration is closing up the Department of Education in Washington, D.C., and sending all education and education work and needs back to the states. We want them to run the education of our children.
The states do.
Much better job of it. You can't do worse. We spend more money per pupil by 3 times than any other nation. And yet,
now that's possible. That could be true.
We're one of the worst. So you can't do worse. We're going to end education coming out of Washington, D.C. We're going to close it up, all those buildings all over the place, and you have people that in many cases hate our children. We're going to send it all back to the states. Thank you very much.
And of course, when they say they want to send it back to the states, they want to allow states like Alabama to segregate schools and shit like that. That's all it is. Anytime you hear states' rights, Lee Atwater, Reagan's campaign manager, laid it out for us. It's all about racial segregation. It's all about discriminating against groups. But Venus, you're right. Like, we do love our country. That's why we are fighting against these fucks that, you know, tried to pull a coup and install that idiot as a dictator. New footage released a couple of days ago out of January 6th actually shows cops find ammunition inside of the Capitol, disputing the idea that the rioters weren't armed.
I found a magazine with rounds in it. Ours? Nah, it's some silver like this big. Yeah, it's Capitol took it. Capitol took it. Is there a fucking jurisdiction loan handle? I was like, what the hell? How did you see that shit? Hey, you're not injured though, are you? No. That's all that matters. Trying to rip my fucking radio off. Goons.
So this is about 3:30 on January 6th. Can you imagine what it would be like to... This is right after they would have taken control of the Capitol back.
Hey kids, I was in the Battle of the Capitol. Hey, there's a nice baseball bat I pulled off some guy. We just took back the U.S. Capitol building.
That's why, yeah, they just took it back. He's getting on like an Instagram live or some shit. We just took back the U.S. Capitol building. from the rioters trying to install Donald Trump as a dictator. What a wild day that was. That's seared in my memory. They shit on the floor. They shit on the walls. They stole a door. If the more violent crime stories bother you, give us about 15 minutes and we'll be into labor news. We've got a couple of disgusting stories we need to talk about. First off, we're going to go to Seattle. We mentioned this story two nights ago? A Seattle police officer joked after a woman's death, but he now says his remarks were misunderstood. We covered this story, but the audio has now been released. A city watchdog agency is investigating after a body-worn camera captured one Seattle Police Department union leader. The union leader is the one time you're going to see us go against unions. Joking with another following the death of a woman who was struck and killed by a police cruiser as she was crossing the street. Daniel Aderer, who was the vice president of the Seattle Police Officers Guild, responded to the January 23rd crash where another officer, Kevin Dave, struck and killed Giovanna Kandula, 23, at a crosswalk. Dave was driving 74 miles per hour on his way to an overdose call. And Aderer, a drug recognition expert, was assigned to evaluate whether Dave was impaired. Afterward, Aderer left his body-worn camera on as he called Guild President Mike Salon to report what happened. In a recording released by the police department on Monday, Aderer laughs and suggests that Kandula's life had limited value, and the city should just write a check, apparently. Apparently, the department has been in touch with the family of the victim, continues to honor their expressed request for privacy.
Yep. Yep, totally. All right, brother. Well, yep. I'm sure TCIS is. And oh, he's good. He says, well, normally we don't give voluntary statements. And I said, hey, you're going to have to decide if you wanted to give a statement or not. But it does not seem like there's a criminal investigation going on.
There should be.
Otherwise, there would be other... What's that? Yeah. Otherwise, there might be other people arriving, correct? Yeah. I mean... He's going 50. That's not out of control. That's not reckless for a trained driver.
He's going 50. He was going 74. Cops lie. Cops fucking lie.
Yeah. Lights and sirens. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's some... Initially, he said she was in a crosswalk. There's a witness that says no, she wasn't, but that witness could be different because I don't think she was thrown 40 feet either. I think she went up on the hood, hit the windshield, then when he hit the brakes, flew off the car. But she is dead. No, it's a regular person. Yeah. Yeah, just write a check. Just, yeah, $11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
realized his body camera was on. You gigantic piece of shit. You know who has limited value on this earth? You. I think by regular person, they mean that she wasn't involved in an investigation. Like she wasn't a suspect in a crime or anything. She was just a bystander. If I had to guess. That's what he meant by regular person. At least he acknowledged her personhood. Insane. Also insane is this story coming out of Atlanta, where a woman was found dead in a trunk. Oh, that's possible too, Venus. I didn't think about that. And instead of someone with political connections or anything, oh, they're just a regular person. That could have been what they meant. But I took it as probably not a suspect in an ongoing investigation or whatever. A bystander. Woman found dead in a trunk, apparently lured to the U.S. to join a cult.
Right now, more breaking news, a major update on a case that keeps getting more disturbing. We now know 6 people, including a teenager, are all charged with felony murder.
The arrest one day after a body was found in the trunk of a car in Duluth, that led police to even more shocking discoveries. Atlanta News First, Brittany Ford, live at the Gwinnett County Police Department. And Brittany, you just spoke to the police department. You got an update just within the last hour.
Well, Sean, investigators telling us that all the suspects lived together and were related. The youngest, just 14 years old, now behind bars. And you could take a look at some video a neighbor shared with us of their Lawrenceville home that was raided yesterday. And also pictures from inside that home shared by investigators this afternoon. Authorities say the victim, in her 20 to 30s, was kept in the basement where she was beaten and starved. Police say her body had been decomposing for weeks before she was found in the trunk of that car.
Detectives believe that the victim was brought over from South Korea sometime in the summer under the guise or under what she thought to believe joining a religious organization. They call themselves Soldiers of Christ.
Oh, I bet they do. Soldiers of Christ. The fuck?
Now, police say there is currently no connection to the spot where the body was found. They say that's just where the suspect happened to leave the vehicle. Meanwhile, investigators say they do believe additional charges could be filed, but as of right now, do not believe that there were any other victims. Reporting live at the Gwinnett County Police Department, Brittany Ford, Atlanta News First.
Shocking information there, Brittany. Thank you for the latest details in the investigation, even when we are...
Well, that's going to be one that we follow up on, because I've got to know what the fuck is going on with this Soldiers of Christ cult. All right, I said 15 minutes, but that wasn't 15 minutes. It's probably we got through that in 10. But I am going to take a quick break, refill my drink, and when we come back, we are going to do labor news. I got several stories for you. You're not going to want to miss that.
We live in turbulent times. The media is full of deception, conspiracy theories, and fake news. Now, more than ever, it is important to ensure you're getting information from a source that's freaking reliable.
I'm Justin Mullins, and this is the Freakin' News.
Get a breaking or interesting story with a humorous twist in about a minute weekdays, 8 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, and more.
Justin had to pee-pee. And he did not have Dan Crenshaw's eye pussy available. You saw the ad for the Freak store there. I saw some of the cool designs. This is the last day that you'd be able to get 20% off any merch. If you saw something cool and you wanted to go grab it, 20% off. Use code ENDOFSUMMER20 at the Freak store. The link is in the description on whatever platform you're watching on. End of Summer 20, if you so choose to. I don't usually, plug my shit like that, but I got that email the other day. I just happened to see it. It was like, oh, if you've had your eye on something on the Freak store, do use the code. Save a little money on it. Stick it to the man. As of this morning, UAW leadership was telling the rank and file to prepare for a strike. We are now 3 hours while we're watching this piece from this morning out of Detroit. I will check and make sure a deal has not been reached. I don't think it's going to. I think we're going to see a strike from the workers from all of the big three. Let's hear from this is out of Detroit. Fox 2 out of Detroit.
Take a look at the clock on your screen, just 12 hours and change remaining. Time is running out for the big three to reach a new contract agreement with United Auto Workers. If a deal is not reached, union members could hit the picket lines, walking away from a steady income, which impacts their families and sends a ripple effect from the production line to small businesses to the people trying to buy a car. And so we're starting this day by putting everything into perspective because this has such a huge impact on our area and the rest of the country. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday. I'm Brandon Hudson.
So it looks like the latest update from the AP was about an hour ago. Detroit automakers and auto workers remain far from a deal as end-of-day strike deadline approaches. Boys, we picketing tomorrow.
And I'm Amy Andrews. This morning we're learning numerous counteroffers from Stellantis, General Motors, and Ford have been rejected by the UAW in recent weeks.
Yeah, union leaders say that a strike is not the goal, but they will have to do what they have to do to get a fair deal and show their worth. Fox News.
The kick chat broke? What? Insane. I would give anything in the world to piss in Kick's eye pussy. Oh, there's Warlord. It's back working. Must have just had a brain for it.
Robert Murdoch is keeping an eye on the situation. He joins us live from downtown Detroit. What is the feeling down there? Because on the one hand, you have this auto show, but on the other hand, you have people that are waiting to see if a strike is going to happen.
Know what's going to happen.
There's a lot of just anticipation. Everybody wondering what this next move will be in this situation. As you know, they have been in contract negotiations since mid-July, and we are now just hours away from the deadline, from those contracts actually expiring. Now, as you guys know, Shawn Fain, the president of the UAW, he's been really good all along about giving updates on social.
Fantastic. Love Shawn Fain. Really won me over.
Exactly how these contracts are going. Well, they say that they are ready to react. They are ready to take action. They have been practicing picketing, and soon we could see the real deal.
The UAW doesn't back down from a fight. We're willing to do what's necessary to win justice by any means necessary.
Shawn Fain, the president of the UAW, once again taking to Facebook Live to update union membership on how contract talks are going, and once again telling that membership to get ready to strike at 11:59 tonight. That is when the first wave of walkouts would happen.
Anxious, nervous, kind of like the moments before a big boxing match, but we're ready.
This man among the local 51 workers at the truck plant in Dearborn.
Gonna be a slog.
In a practice picket on Wednesday. Fain says a strike involving Ford, Stellantis, and General Motors at this same time would be historic. That they would start small and then expand as needed to put more pressure on the big three.
In the spirit of the sit-down strike, the stand-up strike will keep the companies guessing. It's going to rely on discipline, organization, and creativity.
Sit-down strikes were a popular union tactic in the 1930s in which workers would bring production to a halt and basically take over a plant. According to Fain, the latest offers on the table...
Okay, that dude had Ricky's shirt on. Smokes. What the fuck is Stellantis? Is that what Chrysler is called now? Am I just like behind the times? Did I miss something? I've never fucking heard of Stellantis. And what a stupid name for a car company.
According to Fain, the latest offers on the table included 20% pay raise by Ford. GM has proposed an 18% increase, while Stellantis is willing to give auto workers a 17.5% spike.
Still optimistic that we'll get a deal, but there is a limit. And because we have to protect for the future investments, and the profitability of the company funds those.
Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, says its offer is the most generous in some 80 years. However, the UAW believes all three can do better. Numbers compiled by the union show combined they have made $250 billion in North American profits in the last decade alone. We are told...
Look at the buybacks are off the goddamn chart. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Decade alone, we are told some can't even afford to buy what they are building.
Over the past almost 17 years of my 25 years, it's went from we were treated like gold to where now we're the bottom of the barrel, and we're up here just breaking our backs just to try to feed our kids.
So if this does end up going to a strike, as you just heard, there will not be a complete work stoppage at first. Now, Fain does plan to update union membership at 10 o'clock tonight about whether they will strike, whether they will walk off the job, and which locations will walk off first. If that is the case, if there is no deal reached, we'll of course keep you posted, though. For now, we are live outside Huntington Place. I'm Robin Murdoch. I'll send it back to you.
It looks like it is actually happening. I don't think they're going to reach a deal in the next 45 minutes. So, hell yeah. Solidarity with those workers in the UAW. Solidarity with the workers in the Writers Guild and SAG-AFTRA. Unlike Bill Maher, who is a fucking scab. Bill Maher's decision to bring back HBO's Real Time during the writer's strike is disappointing, according to the Guild. Says it will picket the show. Good. WGA has taken a swipe at Bill Maher after the comedian revealed... Comedian. I used to be a big Bill Maher fan, and one of the things that really turned me off about him was that if you go back and listen to one of his stand-up specials from the late 90s, and then you listen to his subsequent specials, it's the same jokes over and over again. He just replaces the politicians' names. That was the first thing that really started. He had a special at the beginning of the Obama administration. And I'm like, I've already seen this 3 or 4 different times. Now, Richard, I had his book, New Rules, and he said that he was very hands-on in writing them. He is a writer on his show. Apparently he's not doing New Rules, in solidarity with the writers. I haven't been able to watch him since probably about 2016. I haven't been a fan of him himself for longer than that, but I was still watching Real Time because I was like, hey, I may dislike Bill Maher, but I do enjoy the political discussion. But it's gone off the rails. It's just boomers yelling at clouds now, and it's not this an erudite discussion like it used to be. I was a huge fan of Olbermann. I still I follow him on Twitter, but I don't really consume his content anymore. He kind of seems like he's yelling at clouds as well. Ooh, I haven't seen Amon's video about Bill Maher. I'll have to check that out. The Tim Pool one with the feeding the hot dogs really creeped me out. Bill Maher's decision to go back on the air while his guild is on strike is disappointing. If he goes forward with his plan, he needs to honor more than the spirit of the strike. Bill Maher is obligated as a WGA member to follow the strike rules and not perform any writing services. It is difficult to imagine how Real Time with Bill Maher can go forward without a violation of WGA strike rules taking place. WGA will be picketing this show. Maher revealed earlier today that he was going back to work sans writers or writing. He says it's just going to be a panel. There's not going to be a monologue, which nobody liked his monologues anyway. Even the crowd there for Real Time never liked his monologues. Ever. I think I saved it too. Hold on. I saw a meme that Nothing gets more work than Bill Maher's applause sign. I didn't save it. I'm sorry. Nothing works harder than Bill Maher's applause sign. I thought I saved it. As expected, Maher has taken a lot of criticism from writers on social media who have been using the word scab to describe his actions. However, he did receive some words of encouragement from Elon Musk, who said, maybe worth posting some material on this platform. The reach is enormous. If you've got Elon Musk on your side, you are on the wrong side, I assure you. Also, someone being called out as a scab, and this is disappointing because I had the biggest crush on her when I was a young lad. Drew Barrymore gets booted from award show hosting gig amidst the strike backlash. Meanwhile, Matthew McConaughey and other stars have reportedly pulled out of appearances on the Drew Barrymore show. Good on them. Fuck you, Drew. The U.S. National Book Awards are no longer interested in having Drew Barrymore serve as their host. The decision to uninvite Barrymore from Friday's event, announced this week by the National Book Foundation, is one of the first concrete manifestations of the backlash Barrymore has received over the last few days after announcing on Sunday that she's going to resume filming of her talk show, The Drew Barrymore Show, without her striking writers. Not even the best Drew in Hollywood. In a statement, the NBF wrote that the National Book Awards is an evening dedicated to celebrating the power of literature and the incomparable contributions of writers to our culture. In the light of the announcement that the Drew Barrymore Show will resume production, the National Book Foundation has rescinded Miss Barrymore's invitation to host the 74th National Book Awards ceremony. Barrymore made her announcement back on September 10th, stating that, "I own this choice," and declaring that the show will be in compliance with strike rules. As she noted in her Instagram post, Barrymore stepped away from hosting the MTV Film and Television Awards earlier this year to stand in solidarity with the writers, but feels that this is bigger than just me, and that she's taking the step to resume filming with an astute humility. I've never watched the Drew Barrymore Show, but I'm assuming it is just daytime pablum. That there is absolutely no fucking value to Drew Barrymore doing a show. And if you so choose to do a show, ma'am, why not just do it on YouTube? Why not just turn on your camera and talk into the fucking abyss just like we do? What the fuck? Do it on X. That could be a suggestion to get into some sexual anarchy, doing it on X.
You live in sexual anarchy?
Maynard is not impressed with Drew Barrymore. God, I wish I could sick Maynard on her. Maynard is not the nicest cat. He will tear her motherfucker up. And I would love to see Maynard tear Drew Barrymore up for that. From women that I really expected better of to women who just keep making me happier and happier. My God. Margot Robbie really is a national fucking treasure, isn't she? Margot Robbie holds sign while taking part in West Hollywood SAG-AFTRA strike. Thank you, Margot Robbie, one of the biggest stars in Hollywood right now. Her support means the world. The actress, 33, took part in the SAG-AFTRA rally from Netflix Studios to Paramount Studios in West Hollywood on Wednesday. Wearing brown sunglasses and a white oversized t-shirt with the words SAG-AFTRA on strike, Robbie held up a black, white, and yellow SAG-AFTRA on strike sign. Robbie previously said that she would absolutely be prepared to strike during an interview captured by Sky News ahead of the SAG-AFTRA announcement. I'm very much in support of all the unions. We are too, except the police union. I'm a part of SAG, so I would absolutely stand by that. Love you, Margot Robbie. At the time the strike was announced, SAG President Fran Drescher said in a press conference that the industry's entire business model has been changed by streaming, digital, and AI. This is a very big deal, and it weighed heavy on us. At some point, you have to say, no, we're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. And I love to see, like, huge stars come out and support the strike. One of them, the actor who played Jesse Pinkman, Aaron Paul, the most likable of the Paul brothers, was also participating in the SAG-AFTRA strike. His co-star in Breaking Bad, Bob Odenkirk, also out striking today.
I mean, I can't speak to general morale. I have actually been gallivanting around, doing various things for the last few weeks. I haven't struck for like 2 weeks. I've been gone. So I'm hoping morale is as high as it ever was. And the thing is, we're striking for really basic core principles. So that makes it easier to carry on, because you know, if we just went back to what we had, that would not sustain. So we have to carry on until we make some fundamental shifts. I mean, I can't speak to...
Fucking love it. You got a strike going on? Better call Saul. It's all good, man. I was actually wrong. That was a few days ago. Bob Odenkirk was a few days ago. But I wanted to give you a taste of what has been going on with the strike today. This actually was today. This was Cheryl Lee Ralph firing up the crowd.
You know why we're here. You know what we deserve. And in the words of one of our SAG members, pay us what you owe us. Don't act like you forgot. Shots.
Bitch better have my money.
We are the heartbeat of the entertainment industry. You might try to recreate us with IA, but ain't nothing gonna be as fabulous as the human beings that we are. You know why we're here.
The idea that AI is going to replace her, she got it backwards, IA. The idea the idea that AI is going to replace any kind of creative work is just absurd. I can tell you, I've already had clients send me scripts written by AI. It's like, you know, this would have been better if you just let me write it from scratch, right? You want me to work this into something. Bullshit. Iowa will not replace us. Iowa will not replace us. Bitch better have my money. Don't act like you don't know. I did not know that the UAW was giving an announcement at 10 o'clock. That really makes me want to try to stay. Like, that's all I had for you tonight. And I was going to try to get off early because I've got to go back to work. I'm tempted to try to waste 30 minutes and stick around for the UAW strike. You guys want me to do that? Do you want... Yeah, let's stick around. Let's do it. That means you get hodgepodge content. Do you want to see Puppy Bus? Before we start doing some other news stories that I had saved but didn't make it to the list. We're doing Puppy Bus again tonight, guys. Oh, this is too adorable. I've not watched this one yet. This is a brand spanking new one.
Thank you for riding with Mo Mountain Nuts. Would you guys like a complimentary liver with your bus ride? We got a new kid, Callie. She's about to find out what this puppy bus is all about.
Ooh, Callie getting ready to find out.
We have fish. Otis. The new kid, Callie.
Hey, Callie. You're gonna see some familiar faces.
Dasher.
Hey, Dasher.
Here we have Chum.
What's up, Chum?
And Sadie.
Sexy Sadie up in here.
Here we have Lumi.
Hey, Lumi. Oh my God, you're gorgeous. I mean, all of them are precious.
Deshu.
Hey, Deshu. Look how well behaved they are.
Here is Echo.
Echo.
And here we have Bama.
Hey, Bama. Oh, he's drooling already. I don't blame you, buddy.
Over here we have Carl.
Hey, Carl.
Louie.
Hey, Louie. Oh.
And we have Loch Ness.
Loch Ness Monster. Hey, Loch Ness Monster.
Please stay in your seats till we get to your house. Pause to yourself.
I thought Amaru was on here. That was one from the bus that we have watched several times. I thought I heard her say Amaru. That must have been a different one I was watching.
Tails out of the aisles. Up here we have Loch Ness. You are sitting in the emergency exit. Are you willing and capable of offloading the pups in a remote chance of an emergency? He says no, but Carl is ready.
Oh, Carl is always ready.
Change seats with Carl. You don't look super prepared.
Oh my God.
Thank you for riding with Mo Mountain Nuts. Would you guys like a compliment?
Yes, Mo_mountain_mutts. Go check them out. Go follow them on all the social medias.
Callie, she's about to find out what this puppy bus is all about.
I love this puppy bus.
We have fish. Otis. The new kid, Callie.
Oh, the new kid. Just also sweet and well behaved. I will tell you that my cats do not act like that when you break out the treats.
And Sadie. Here we have Lumi. And next to her is Deshu.
Well, I appreciate you turning to me for your puppy bus, but I'm just an aggregate of great content.
In front of her is Echo.
I want to give credit to the people that actually produce the content. I'm just turning you on to it.
Over here we have.
That's last night we had the best news station that we have ever watched on this show. I think I'm gonna actually send a message to the news director, be like, "Hey, great fucking job."
And we have Loch Ness.
You the cats go fucking crazy. My cats are not well behaved.
Till we get to your house.
When I break the treats out.
Tails out of the aisles. Up here we have Loch Ness. You are sitting in the emergency exit. Are you willing and capable?
I think I have a pretty sweet job, but does this woman? Oh, look at those eyes. Does this woman have the best job on the planet?
of offloading the pups and a remote chance of an emergency? He says no, but Carl is ready. Loch Ness, I think we're gonna have to change seats with Carl. You don't look super prepared.
Why do we want to talk about Unity the game engine? What happened with Unity the game engine? I thought everybody is on Unreal Engine 5 now. That shit is insane. Yeah, have you guys played that Matrix demo on the PS5? Holy shit. Unreal 5. My God. All right. Do you want to talk about bullshit, or do you want me to give you crime stories? Do you want to do politics? You guys pick. We've got about 25 minutes until we hear from UAW President Shawn Fain about whether the strike will commence. You guys pick your poison. What kind of news do you want to cover in that 20 minutes? Do you want crime stories? Do you want bullshit? Do you want some politics? We'll do whatever you want. Yeah, I don't seen this. Okay, Warlord, this is a good place to start. The entire gaming... Danielle, good evening. We'll do bullshit. Everybody says bullshit. Bullshit wins. The entire gaming industry unites against Unity's baffling pricing change. Also, PlayStation facing some backlash from their absurd pricing change. I've already turned off my PlayStation Plus. They've got me over a barrel. I can't play with my friends unless it's on. I want my free games every month. PS for the win. It takes a lot to unite all corners of the gaming industry. Goddamn right it does. But Unity has done just that with an astonishingly bad change to the pricing for the use of its game engine, the biggest rival to Epic Games' Unreal Engine. Wait a minute, isn't Unreal like open source, or is that just like Unreal 4? Like, I thought like I could use Unreal Engine if I wanted to. Unity announced that it would now be charging developers for the use of the engine per installation of their game. Whoa! The stunning change freaked out countless indie developers, and many already announced their intention to switch platforms for in-development or future releases. Unity rushed to try to clarify some of the most common questions this move raised. Originally, the announcement said that every install would warrant a fee, meaning players could delete and reinstall a game multiple times to mess with developers. They have since said that it will only be charged on the initial installation, but that does not cover multiple platforms like an install on both PC and Steam Deck. As for piracy, Unity says they have their own fraud protection tech that they say developers will need to trust so they're not getting charged for pirated copies. Demos of the game will not be charged a fee as long as they're not included with the full game. Charity bundles including games will not be charged a fee, but the developer will have to inform Unity about the inclusion to make sure that actually happens. Unity says that for games being offered on a subscription service like Game Pass, it would not be the developer being charged for the installs. It would instead be Microsoft who has to pay. Microsoft has not had any response to this, and it seems likely it had no idea this was supposed to be the case. Despite some clarifications, no one is celebrating this move. It feels deeply backwards, and there will likely remain a flood of developers who flee to platforms like Unreal or other engines in order to avoid this kind of install fee-based model that has arrived out of nowhere. Some are wondering if Unity, which has lost half its value in the last 5 years, will be able to survive in the long term if this is what they're resorting to in order to increase revenue. Clarify, meaning backtrack. Exactly right. Chainsaw. Let's see, since we're talking about gaming, I had another game-related story here that falls into the bullshit category. Did I save it to my other page? Also, speaking of games, did everybody see the trailer for the new... Maybe I didn't save the story. The new Final Fantasy VII Rebirth trailer. Oh my god, it just dropped a couple of hours ago. And I watched it before the stream. I'm so hyped. Huge Final Fantasy fan. The reveal of Kate Smith and Vincent. Okay, this was the clip I wanted. I think it was a longer clip on Facebook though. The segues, yes, there's segues in the Final Fantasy trailer.
Gamergate was the start of this really destructive.
Who is this? Who in the world is this? Why is the skeleton talking to me?
Personal way that we argue online, where if you don't like somebody, you go into their past and you find stuff they've said that you disagree with, and you get a mob together and attack, climp chip it.
Yeah, it's spooky season. Yes, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't put up the Halloween graphics until 2 weeks out from Halloween. I don't get into spooky season at the beginning of September like so many other people. Tim fucking Pool. Gamergate was not the start of people trying to cancel culture other people. I assure you.
Put anything you've set up that's stupid on subreddit and you destroy the person. And that's my core message to you, man, is look, my hands are covered with blood in this, as much as anyone's can be. I've come to the conclusion that...
I don't know. They caught Taylor Schabusiness pretty red-handed. Like, when they caught her, she literally had blood dripping from her hands.
This is a war and a tactic that does not do anything but lead us into misery. And I think if you're serious about the issues we're talking about, I think the only sane thing for people to do that truly care is to get off Twitter and talk about public policy. Just one more thing. If I could go back in time for Gamergate and do something different, I would have deleted my damn account. Gamergate was the start of...
I wanted to hear what else she had to say. See, this YouTube shortens you to like 1 minute. That's all you can put on YouTube Shorts. On TikTok, it's 3 to 10 minutes or so. I think they, if you reach a certain follow account, you get 10 minutes, but otherwise you're 3 minutes or some shit like that. I think I like that the up to it's 2.5 minutes on Facebook and Twitter. It's weird shit. I don't like I wish YouTube was 2 minutes, because sometimes it's hard for me to cut things down to get them under 1 minute. And like I've sometimes do different cuts for TikTok and YouTube, but I don't like doing that because it's just so much more work. You can still delete her account, goddammit. Go for it. You can delete yourself from the planet if you want to. Go ahead. Yeet on into the sun, ma'am. I don't think anybody will miss you. I don't know. That's probably harsh. I don't even know who she is. I'm just assuming she's a shithead because she's on Tim Pool. But then again, Tim Pool does bring, Lance from the Surfs and Emma and shit on. So, I don't know. Hopefully one of these days he'll bring me on. I can go call him a dumb fuck to his face.
The world's ending. At least, that's what everyone's saying.
This sky, I don't like it.
Ready to fire, sir. Welcome to the New World Order. Fire!
Just close your eyes and listen. Tell me you can't hear that. Her rallying cry.
Planet runs out of energy. It and everything on it dies.
We can overcome our fate.
Am I the same as these monsters?
not being able to fight as Red 13 in the first part really upset me. I know he's only in the game for like the ass end of it, but come the fuck on. I couldn't have him in my party for at least a couple of fights. What the fuck, Square? Other than that, the first part was really good. I really enjoyed it. But I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan, so.
Human? Okay, we're looking for Sephiroth. Think you can find him?
Oh! Too sweet!
You see. So you heeded the call too, did you?
What are you talking about?
As you can see, your brothers down there are having a little get-together.
They're our best chance of finding Sephiroth.
Yeah. I ask because I suspect there's soldiers suffering from cellular degradation.
Do not be deceived. You know the truth. Trust in me.
Sephiroth! Come on!
On me.
The Alexander summons. Odin.
Look!
The gold saucer. Gotta have a dance number.
Excuse me. Could you look after my friend? Just for a bit.
A weapon?
Tutelary creatures, set only to appear when the planet is in grave danger. Who dares disturb my slumber?
Vincent!
It's upon us. The reunion. When worlds merge.
Didn't even show his face. Just his voice and the backside.
Disturb my slumber. It's upon us. The reunion. When worlds merge. I'm waiting, Cloud.
I'm so hyped. Apparently, Simp, they're in the works. Apparently in 8 and 9, I don't know if it's going to be a full remake. It may just be like a type of a remaster or something, but I don't know how they would handle that. But apparently both of those are in the works. I'm more excited for 9. I like 9 a lot better than 8. There's a lot of things I like about 8, but ultimately it's one of my least favorite Final Fantasies. Like I probably like 13 better than 8. 2's probably the worst. If you played them all, I'm pretty sure 2 is universally considered the worst. But then it'd be like, for me, 2, 8, 13. 1, 3, 5, 4, 12. I left 15 out. Yes, 8 did have the best card game. I will agree to that. I'm not the biggest fan of 15. There's things I like about it. There's things I don't. 2 was on the Famicom and never released in the US until it got to the PlayStation, the Final Fantasy Origins collection, I think. I might be wrong on that. Because R3 is 6. And R2 was... I forget now. because like I've spent so much time with, the real numbers now. I forget what they were called when I was a kid. But 3 was 6. US 3 was Final Fantasy 6. Which is probably my favorite. Like 6 my favorite. 9, 12, 7. And I really like 16. 16 would probably come after 7. Oh, I fucking love 4 too. It's hard to rank them, especially when there's this many goddamn games. 2 was 4. So the 1 is R1. I like 12 an awful lot. I love 12. I actually saw a meme about Bosch being the main badass of that game. I was like, yeah, but Balthier was the leading man. Come on. You like 12 because apparently, like, I didn't even know at the time because I'd never seen Star Wars, but apparently it's very heavily influenced by Star Wars. I mean, I get it now that I've seen the Star Wars. 10, like, a lot of people love 10, and I think that's one of, like, it being their first one. So, like, I like this story. I like a lot of the characters are very charming. Waka is one of the best voice actors in all of video games. Lovable cringe, like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, Richard, when I was playing Ni no Kuni, that was my only thing that I didn't like about Ni no Kuni, is that it didn't have like a gambit system like 12. Because I really would have liked to have been able to set up my my companions to do shit. Because that's the hardest part of the game, is your companions don't really do what you need them to do. So I own Tactics. I tried to play it and I couldn't do the because everybody says it's amazing, and Tactics is the same world as 12, and I never could get the hang of the system, the battle system. I would love to go back and play it now and see if I can actually, check it out. Everybody raves about Tactics. Many people will say that Tactics is the best Final Fantasy. Or that Legend of Dragoon is the best Final Fantasy. Sabra Ricardo, good evening. Hugs to you, my friend. We're kind of waiting around right now to hear from UAW president here in about 10 minutes about whether or not they're going to go on strike at midnight tonight. So we just kind of been bullshitting around. You want to watch? Let's watch Puppy Bus one more time, and then we'll tune into the UAW feed. Everybody love Puppy Bus. Can't go wrong with Puppy Bus.
Thank you for riding with Mo Mountain Mugs. Would you guys like a complimentary liver with your bus ride? We got a new kid, Callie. She's about to find out.
She about to find out.
What Puppy Bus is all about. In the back here, we have fish. Otis.
Mo, M-O _ mountain, all one word, or all spelled out, _ mutts. Oh, mountain mutts. Yeah, indeed. I fuck with that Puppy Bus.
And Sadie.
Sexy Sadie.
Here we have Lumi.
What's everyone's favorite Beatles song?
And next to her is Deshu.
I asked my best friend the other day what his favorite Beatles song was. Help, that's a good one. I'm usually not a fan of the earlier Beatles stuff, but Help is a good one in the early catalog. I also like 8 Days a Week from the early years.
Here we have Carl.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
Louis.
Mine is probably my favorite song would be Happiness is a Warm Gun, but it's so fucking short.
We have Loch Ness.
Golden Slumbers. That one's not ringing a bell right now, Fuzzy. I've got the entire discography. I'll check it out after I get off here.
Pause to yourself.
Keep your paws to yourself. I am the Eggman.
Up here.
They are the Eggmen.
You are sitting in the emergency exit. Are you willing and capable of offloading the pups in a remote chance of an emergency? He says no, but Carl is ready.
I really like I Want You, She's So Heavy. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, buddy. While my guitar gently weeps is a favorite.
Mountain Nuts. Would you guys like a complimentary liver?
Speaking of Across the Universe, I actually prefer like the Across the Universe, the movie version of It Won't Be Long, and
Here we have fish.
God, there was another one. I was like, God, that's even better than like the Beatles version. Keep your tails in.
The new kid, Callie.
New kid, Callie. You think Callie's happy to be on Puppy Bus?
Here we have Chum.
They're all just so well behaved.
Sadie.
Exactly. Jinx.
Here we have Lumi. And
Huskies are just so gorgeous.
in front of her is Echo.
Now, and I hate being like that, right? Because all of these puppies are gorgeous. All of these puppies are the bestest boys and girls. Across the Universe is fantastic. I enjoyed it as well.
Carl. Louis.
I love his big eyes. Once again, we're about 5 minutes away from finding out if the UAW is going on strike. Spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure they are. It will shock the shit out of me.
House. Cause to yourself. Tails out of the aisles.
So I'm assuming this is in today, right? Because they're like, until you get to your house. She's giving out treats at the end of the day.
Up here we have Loch Ness. You are sitting in the emergency exit. Are you willing and capable of offloading the pups in a remote chance of an emergency? He says no, but Carl is ready. Loch Ness, I think we're going to have to change seats with Carl. You don't look super prepared.
Libertad is pro-scat, anti-anthropomorphism. So we'll keep that in mind for you. Let's go to the UAW and their YouTube channel here. All right, they said Facebook, didn't they? I'll have to pull up the Facebook. Well, and since I pulled up the Facebook and this was the thing that pulled up, you can watch it too. Raccoon pool party.
Apparently. Yeah, they're having fun.
They're just
wanted to cool off.
Raccoon 3. He's like, hey, this is pretty cool. We gotta come back.
They're just chilling now.
Look at this guy over here. He's just like, hey guys, come on the deep end. What are they doing? They're just swimming.
That's a first.
Are they having fun?
Apparently. Yeah, they're having fun.
Well, yeah, they're having fun.
Enjoying themselves. Raccoon 3. He's like, hey, this is pretty cool. We gotta come back.
Hell yeah, trash pandas.
Look at this guy over here. He's just like, hey guys, come on the deep end.
Pool pandas. Pool pandas, indeed. One more time.
They're just swimming.
That's a first.
Are they having fun?
Apparently. Yeah, they're having fun.
They're just enjoying themselves. Raccoon 3. He's like, hey, this is pretty cool. We gotta come back.
I did not see gators loose in China.
Look at this guy over here.
I will definitely look that one up.
On the deep end.
Why don't you want this? No,
Shut up, McCarthy.
I never changed my position. You told me.
No one cares, McCarthy. So live stream starting soon. Posted about 7 minutes ago. Not yet though. I I assure you, my personal Facebook follows UAW. This is my artist page. Danielle, last night we watched a dude politely escort a bear out of their campground, and that was wild. That was one of the wildest things I have ever seen. They say feed starting soon. They need a countdown. This is one of the reasons why you need a countdown, so people can come and tune in and be sure to get set up so they're there when the stream starts. We talked about the virtues of a countdown on a stream. I was against using a countdown for the longest time, but it's advantageous for several reasons, and I try to make mine entertaining. But we will be getting the live stream starting here in the next couple of minutes. Be nice if they had a countdown for us to watch. And indeed, this is one of the things. Thank you, Jacobin. The UAW strike matters for the entire U.S. working class. Doesn't matter if you work for a company that is a union shop. Doesn't matter if you aren't in car manufacturing. This strike matters for the entire working class. United Auto Workers, headed by a new reform leadership, are set to strike the big three automakers at midnight tonight. The entire working class will be watching to see if auto workers, and my chat probably knows this, but if you don't, just having one company unionized in your region raises the wages of everybody. Everybody. Every single person that is in the region, it raises the median wage. Just one. Imagine what would happen if all companies were unionized. Should be any minute now. We will be getting the... Here we go. Ooh, I love seeing that number go up in the top left-hand corner. We need price controls. We need to bust monopolies. There is so much that we need to do in this country. God, I hope we see more unionization efforts. Hopefully this is a harbinger of things to come. That there is more labor action across the country. I wish we could pass the PRO Act, but even if the Democrats take back the House, it still faces a challenge. Because I don't know that. First of all, I kind of have my doubts that the Democrats are going to be able to hold on to the Senate. I think the worst case scenario that's going to happen. Oh, hell yeah, Spider Pickle. Yes, let's do that. That is a great idea. God, I love you guys. Fucking so amazing. Even if you want to stay here and watch the stream with me, go open it in another tab. Up that view count. Bump up those numbers. I was skeptical of Sean Fain, but my God. This dude is a firebrand, and I'm here for it. This is exactly what the UAW needs right now. We're up to 30K. It just started, what, 2 minutes ago? Fuck yeah, let's bump up those numbers. I do believe that we're going to hear, it's on, we're striking. I do not believe that there is any chance that the automakers caved and presented them a contract for 30%. Fair enough, Venus. Fair enough. I think you might be able to just put the link in a browser, and you don't have to actually have an account. But you might. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure you can view Facebook without having an account. Already working better than the DeSantis announcement. Now, Fane has been really good about giving updates over the internet. So I think this is a union president that knows the power of using social media to organize. Good. Yeah, Spider Pickle, I've been car free since 2019. Fucking love it. I didn't exactly live in an area where I could walk. I mean, if I had to walk, it wasn't too awfully bad to go to town. But now I live in a downtown area. So if I want to walk somewhere and get something to eat, boom. So I enjoy, which I don't know. I'm at a crossroads right now. I don't know how long I will be in this apartment. I may leave at the end of my lease in March, and who knows? I don't know. I don't know where I want to go. The world is my oyster. I can do whatever the fuck I want. So who knows where it's going to take me. My thought process may be to keep this apartment past the 2024 election. Because my lease is up in March, but that's right in the middle of primary season, so it's not like me as a political streamer really wants to go through a move that might take me away from streaming for a couple weeks during that time. Spider Pickle, I've looked at biking. I've looked at different mopeds or Vespas and blah blah blah. I think if I do get a vehicle, it's very possible I might get like a small motorcycle. My thing is I wouldn't want to have to start keeping insurance again, is what I really don't want. You gotta keep insurance on a motorcycle. Whereas I could get like some kind of electric scooter or something. But the insurance on the motorcycle is not that bad either. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is like it's not all that bad, but still, just having more monthly fees suck. Here we go.
Family, I'm going to be brief because time's of the essence. For the past 24 hours, we've been actively bargaining with Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis. For the first time in our union's history, we had all three companies bargaining right here at the Solidarity House, leading into the final hours of our strike deadline. We've been working hard, trying to reach a deal for economic and social justice for our members.
It's on.
We have been firm. We are committed to winning an agreement with the Big Three that reflects the incredible sacrifice and contributions UAW members have made to these companies. We've been open. The companies, the members, and the public know that what we've been fighting for. And we've been clear. Midnight on the evening of September 14th is a deadline. UAW family, that deadline is nearly here. Tonight, for the first time in our history, we will strike all three of the Big Three at once. We are using a new strategy, the stand-up strike. We will call on select facilities, locals, or units to stand up and go on strike. Tonight, we call on 3 units to stand up and go on strike at midnight if we do not reach a tentative agreement in the next 2 hours. We're calling on GM, Wentzville Assembly, Local 2250 in Region 4 to stand up and strike. We're calling on Stellantis, Toledo Assembly Complex, Local 12 in Region 2B to stand up and strike. And we're calling on Ford, Michigan Assembly Plant, Final Assembly and Paint only, Local 900 in Region 1A to stand up and strike. These 3 units are being called to stand up and walk out on strike at midnight tonight. The locals that are not yet called to join the stand-up strike will continue working under an expired agreement. No contract extensions. Though the contract is expired,
DJ Dub, apparently a full-scale strike is on the way.
management cannot change terms and conditions of work in your workplace. You do not become an employee at will. You cannot be fired or disciplined for no reason. This strategy will keep the companies guessing. It will give our national negotiators maximum leverage and flexibility in bargaining. And if we need to go all out,
Venus, I think you hit the nail on the head.
everything is on the table. I encourage you to visit uaw.org/standup for everything you need to know about working under an expired contract. No matter what, all of us need to keep organizing. Rallies, protests, red shirt days, and community events. We must show the companies you are ready to join the stand-up strike at a moment's notice. And we must show the world that our fight is a righteous fight. Again, tonight at midnight, GM Wentzville Assembly, Local 2250 in Region 4, Stellantis Toledo Assembly Complex, Local 12 in Region 2B, and Ford Michigan Assembly Plant, Final Assembly and Paint only, Local 900 in Region 1A, will stand up and walk out on strike. The rest of us will keep organizing and support them on the picket line. If we strike tonight, I'll see you on the picket line at Michigan Assembly at midnight. Tomorrow,
Motherfucker gonna be on the front lines.
at the UAW Ford Joint Trust Building in downtown Detroit at 4 p.m. We will show our strength and unity on the first day of this historic action. All options remain on the table. National leadership will determine the appropriate targets and timing for further stand-up strike action. This is our generation's defining moment. The money is there, the cause is righteous, the world is watching, and the UAW is ready to stand up. This is our defining moment. Thank you.
God damn. That gave me chills like watching that Final Fantasy trailer. Holy shit. It is on. I think that's another thing. They're not going to be able to hire scabs if it's a rolling strike like that. This is actually a really good tactic, I think. But they are committed to going on full strike if necessary. I like this UAW president. This motherfucker knows what he's doing. I am so here for this. My browser froze. Okay, there we go. All right, one last time in case you didn't see it before. Let's get on the puppy bus.
Thank you for riding with Mo Mountain Bikes. Would you guys like a complimentary liver with your bus ride?
So probably when I see you guys on Sunday night, we're going to be updating on all the strike actions that went on through the weekend.
In the back here, we have fish. Otis.
Is that slobber on his nose? He's excited for his treat.
Dasher. Here we have Chum.
I'm chummy with chum.
Here we have Lumi.
I think huskies are just so fucking gorgeous, but every single one of these puppies is precious.
In front of her is
That's what I thought. Otis might have needed a wipe.
Here we have Bama.
Bama was one of the ones from the original puppy bus we watched.
Carl. Louis.
But see, I would never own a husky. Like you don't rescue a husky. Huskies aren't out here in shelters.
Please stay in your seat.
And I don't.
Pause to yourself. Tails out of the.
I don't purchase pets.
Up here we have Loch Ness.
I rescue pets.
Emergency exit. Are you willing and capable of offloading the pups in a remote chance of an emergency? He says no, but Carl is ready. Loch Ness, I think we're gonna have to change seats with Carl. You don't look super prepared.
They're so pretty. They're so pretty. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm JustinFREAKIN. We will see you Sunday night, where hopefully we're going to be hearing about some awesome labor action.